Yo, what's going on, guys? Hope you guys are having yourselves a fantastic day. Decided that I wanted to try something new and go on a journey with you guys and try to start making longer episodes. I've made two kind of like longer animation episodes, whatever you want to call them, but I really want to try to like take some time with them, document my journey, the modeling process. I want to do this to challenge myself in literally all aspects of creativity, challenging myself in Blender. This year I want to challenge myself to be on camera more, so that's why I want to try this as well. And I think overall it would just be fun to go on a little journey with you guys. Alright, so you might be wondering, what do I have in mind? For whatever reason, a carnival and like a fair kind of came to mind. So yeah, and there is kind of like a few main points to this story that I already have going, and as we get going here we'll unwrap all that. But the first thing that I thought of, which was super random, this might have even been before I thought of the carnival idea, to be honest, was I wanted to make those inflatable dealership things that go all crazy, and to kind of give them like an alien weird look to it, to have like some cool background, you know, detail. If you go back and look at some of my shorts and my animations, you'll kind of see like my level. I started learning Blender 6-7 months ago, so I'm still very new. I'm learning so much every day, new things every day, all the time. I already have a good amount of work done, so this episode is going to be kind of a recap of what I have done, but future episodes will be kind of like a more live update as I'm going along with what I'm working on. Let's hop right into making the inflatable. This is actually a tutorial you can find on YouTube by Ian Hubert. He makes a bunch of great lazy tutorials, like 1-minute tutorials to make things that look honestly really great, that can be in the background, or, you know, quick little cool things. You guys should go check them out. I should also add that I am very new to like using the wind and like the cloth physics and even texture painting, which all three of those I used in just making these inflatables. It was a whole lot of fun playing around with these techniques, and something I'm looking forward to getting better at in the future. Also, not only am I not super familiar with texture painting, I also got a drawing tablet recently, so I'm also super new with using that as well. Alrighty, for today we're going to be planning out kind of like our storyline, just like a rough little storyline. I already have a few scenes in mind, so kind of build off of those. And then I'm also going to do some sketching of those scenes. Kind of the main purpose of this episode is going to be, how do I say this? It's going to be Keven gaining a companion, or like a new friend essentially. So I kind of thought about how I wanted to do that. I drew a sketch, and I also kind of wrote out a plan a little bit here. Let me switch this for you guys. These were kind of just my general thoughts of what I wanted to work on, kind of just some things I wanted in the background, and like what I wanted the scenery to look like. This little guy right here, this is gonna be our companion. I'm not sure what I'm gonna name it. I just kind of wanted to make like a cool little like ducky chicken sort of looking thing, but kind of make it like cartoony and obviously exaggerated and different. So it doesn't look just like a normal chicken or duck. I think it's gonna be a duck. I don't know. Also, if you guys have any cool names, let me know. Alright, so that's just a little bit of an update. Let's hop back into some time lapses and get updated there. Next up, I started with something simple, like some little banners that are gonna go not only all around the entire fair, or park, whatever you want to call it, carnival, but they'll also be attached to these like booths or shacks. Now these booths and shacks will not only be a part of like a big scene, but also just background while walking through the carnival. So at some point here I pull up some reference, which is always important, just to get an idea of like what some of these buildings and areas look like in a carnival. I also snagged a reference image of like a cartoon duck, which I'm going to use to build our character from our little sketch. I'm really having a lot of fun messing around with texture painting because I'm able to bring in a whole new level of detail and like a stylized look into my work now. Now, as you guys saw, I came up with a pretty basic little shack or booth, whatever you want to call it, and that's going to be where our little mini game is going to be. Now, I left the colors really basic for now on the actual booth. They do come back later on and give the whole thing I give the whole thing a makeover. But next up for our minigame section of this animation, we are going to be making a ray gun for Kevin. Never really made something like this before, so I kind of scrolled Google Images just to get a few different ideas, and I just got started. There was no real blueprint to creating this ray gun. It was definitely all experimental. Some of the things that I was thinking about were the ray gun from Call of Duty Zombies. I was actually watching some playthroughs of High on Life recently, and I thought all the guns in that game were pretty funny. As well as I found one cool reference image, you guys might have seen it pop up through the time lapse. But yeah, it was pretty much all random. One note is, I also wanted to try playing around with sculpting a little bit. I'm super newbie when it comes to that, so it was just all trial and error, but I did have a little bit of a vision in mind. I kind of wanted some like energy kind of cell looking things on the side of the gun, which will also come through the wire looking things that go to the barrel. But basically I was just playing around with the drawing tablets, same as what I was doing with texture painting. Just messing around with sculpting, trying to get like a cool looking shape until I got something I was happy with. The next thing I have planned is to make some like background, like tents. One thing that I think about, if you even just look it up on Google Images, the thing that pops up the most is undeniably the like red and white striped tents. So I figured I wanted to go ahead and make some of those. I also wanted to add some of those physics to them so that they move with the wind in the background and they're not just like some solid tent because it just looks weird. Then again, actually real quick, I have a question. I've been to a few carnivals and fairs, but then again, I've never actually seen one of these red and white tents. I've never seen one of those big circus tents. Is that like a thing, or is that just a thing in cartoons? I was just thinking about that. Anyways. So making the tents actually went really well. I just brought in a cylinder, turned down the amount of edges, and then to make the top canopy, I just duplicated the top row of vertices from the cylinder, and then just kind of extruded a bunch of different times to get kind of like a cone shape. Dealing with the cloth physics was actually really easy. I just set a vertex group around the top points, as well as the original duplicated vertices from the original cylinder. That way the tent canopy kind of holds its shape, but the rest of it kind of has that cloth kind of flowy look. Last step was to add a flag that blows in the wind, and good. Blender also crashed on me before I saved my texture for the ray gun, so I ended up having to repaint that as well, but it's alright because I took the opportunity to add more detail into it and ended up being much happier than the first version. But to wrap up this video, I wanted to start working on making a roller coaster. So the roller coaster wasn't too bad to make. It was actually really easy, especially using the array modifier and the follow curve. The only problem I was having is that the two ends wouldn't meet, but it's not the end of the world. I could always hide that behind like a tent or something like that. I'm not going to use the whole roller coaster anyways for the scene. I just need a little bit. It's kind of like a filler scene anyways. I also started modeling like the actual coaster cart, and let me tell you, it's quite a rough start. I was not happy at all with how this one came out, but it's okay because just like a few of the other things, we revisited the topic. But I also underestimated how much I recorded before I started making like the actual progress checkup videos like we're doing right now. So I think I'm gonna end this one here and pump out at least one more before like the actual live updates while I'm doing it, or I should say while I'm creating. But thank you all for watching. Let me know what you guys think about these videos, and I'm looking forward to sharing my journey with you guys. If you guys enjoyed, please drop a like and subscribe, and be on the lookout for the next one. Peace.